Hey ladies, how are you doing? Good to be here again. I hope you're happy to see me again. So, I know we've been doing a lot of talking recently, and we are here again to talk about something very sensitive but very beneficial. Something that I believe everyone goes through, whether you're a male, whether you're a female. But we are going to be talking about it from a female's perspective. First of all, you're welcome to Care and Counsel with Emma. I am Emma, and I'm here to help with your well being. We are going to be doing talking mostly, talking about issues that affect ladies, whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you're trying to conceive, whether you've had children already, whether you have children with special needs. We are going to be covering all those. And if there's any special topic that is there to you that I've not talked about already, or you want me to still talk about it, clarify more on it, please go ahead and share in the comment section, and I can revisit it, or I can talk about the new topic if there's something new you would want me to talk about. So, the last thing we talked about was toxicity, and it was actually on request. Someone requested that I talk about that. So today I'm talking about forgiveness. Forgiveness. So I'm going to be talking about what forgiveness is not, what it is, what forgiveness can do, unforgiveness, what unforgiveness can do in a person's life, like the negativities that it brings about in people's life. I'm also going to talk about how to forgive, practical steps in forgiving, and then forgiving yourself. So it's likely that this video is going to be in two parts because it's a very long topic, but and it's not going to be exhausted actually in the two parts. But I'll do my best to do justice to it. And then if you have any further questions, we can talk about it in the comment section. And if there's need, we can do revisit the topic. Okay. So I know a lot of us have been through one thing or the other. Some of us have been through toxicity, like we talked about in the last video. Some of us have been through abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, sexual abuse from parents, from relatives, from our spouse, from someone we've been in a relationship with that we've not even gotten married to, from even our friends, our female friends, from diverse people. You've gone through one thing or the other with them. So there are some hurts, some offenses that when it happens, it could be because of a misconception or a misunderstanding between the two of you. And then when you go to the person that has offended and talk it over with the person, which is advisable, whenever someone offends you, if you know the person and you know that talking with the person is the best option, because there are some people that are not approachable when it comes to talking, it's better you don't even bother talking to them because you've known them already, that they don't discuss. Everything is violence about them. No, I'm not talking about those kind of people. I'm talking about people, probably you've not known them before to know whether they're approachable or not. Or you know they can listen. You go to them and tell them what they've done. See, when you're talking to people about an offense, don't say you did this to me, you did that to me, you did the other one to me. No. Tell them how you felt about what happened. Oh, the way you talked to me yesterday, I didn't feel so good about it. Don't say you shouted at me, you did this, you did that. When you do that, the person goes on the defense and the person never accepts that. Especially people that find it difficult to accept such. There are some people that would be okay with it, that will be able to handle it. But not everyone is that way. So majorly, the way you go to people and talk to them about such issues, offenses, is you don't say, you do this every time you do it. Once you say it, the person shuts down. So you just say, the way we talked yesterday, the way you talked to me, I didn't like it. Please, what was the reason? Were you tired or something? Or was there any issue? Was there something I did that you didn't like? And then you can discuss like mature adults. But there are some people that you either they are unapproachable when it comes to talking, or you've talked to them and they did not accept responsibility for the wrong they did to you. And they're even happy to have done that wrong to you. So in some cases, in the cases of like abuse and all that, most times they are not even aware that you're hurting, or they don't even care that you're hurting. So what do you do to this kind of offenses? How do you handle them? How do you forgive them? For some people, forgiveness comes naturally. But some of us, it doesn't. Even for some people that it comes naturally, there are some offenses they go through and it is very difficult to forgive. Could it be that you've lost a loved one? You prayed and prayed and prayed, and you wanted God to heal that person or keep that person, and the person still died? And you're angry with God. You don't want to forgive God. Or you had an armed robbery attack in your place, and probably you were raped, and you refused to forgive that armed robber. You don't even know the person. If you pass the person on the road, you don't even know. So you see, there's need for forgiveness in everyone's life, because myself, I wrong people. You yourself, you wrong people in different levels, and we all need forgiveness. God has forgiven us, God has cleansed us, and He also demands that from us, especially if you're a Christian. You see. So, what is forgiveness not? Forgiveness is not overlooking what the person has done. Yes, you're going to call that thing a name. This person actually did this to me. This person hurt me. This person was toxic towards me. This person lied against me, and or this person took my stuff, or this person abused me in one way or the other. You call it a name. You name that what the person did. Don't pretend that it never happened. Secondly, you're not going to minimize it and say, oh, it wasn't so much. No, you're not going to do that. That's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is not waiting for an apology. It is not waiting for an apology. So, like I've already established at the beginning, this person might not be willing to apologize. This person might not even be willing to take responsibility for what they did. They don't care. They don't care that you're hurt. They can still do it again and again. They are not ready to stop. So, that is the kind of forgiveness we are talking about. So, forgiveness is not when an apology comes that it happens. Forgiveness does not mean you forgive or forget or stop feeling the pain. You will remember the incidents, all right, but you're going to extract the pain. You know how when a bee or a stings you, or a serpent bites someone, you know how you remove the sting or you remove the venom and fling it away. That is what forgiveness is. So the scar might still be there. The memory is still there. But when you remember it, you don't remember it with that pain anymore. So forgiveness is not denying or forgetting the offense that was committed against you. Forgiveness does not mean you can trust the person again. It does not mean you can trust the person again. Yes, you trust the person. You know this person is like this, and this person is not yet willing to change. So that is the kind of trust you have where the person is. You trust that the person can hurt you again. You see. So forgiveness is not reconciliation. So let's put this in perspective. Forgiveness takes only you to forgive. You don't need the second party. You don't need the offender to actualize forgiveness. But reconciliation has to be two of you agreeing to make amends. So when you go to the person and talk to the person about what the person did wrong, and the person says, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know when I did that. That was an oversight on my part. I'm so sorry. And then both of you agree to work it out. That is what reconciliation is. But that is not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness takes only you to handle it. You don't need the apology of the second person or the offender. You don't need to reconcile with the offender to forgive. Forgiveness is not an option, it is a command, especially for Christians. It is not something that you should or shouldn't do. The Bible says that when God said that when you forgive others, then He will forgive you. And when you don't forgive others, that He is not willing to forgive you. So, are you going to choose? It is not even an option for us. It is something we should do. It is something you should. It's difficult, yes, but it's something you should make up your mind to do. So, forgiveness is a gift God has given us to give. God has given you the gift of forgiveness, and He wants you to give it back to someone else. So I'm going into what forgiveness is, actually. So forgiveness is not a feeling. Sometimes you don't feel like it. In fact, most times, like 80-something% or 90-something% of the time, you don't feel like forgiving that person. You want the person to rot in hell. You want the person to feel the pain you're feeling. You want the person to go through the pain you're going through. So it is not a feeling. It is a conscious effort that you make. And forgiveness does not change the past. What has already happened. It cannot be taken back again. You see. So those are the things forgiveness is not. So what is forgiveness actually? Forgiveness is opening the prison door that you trapped someone inside. You put the offender in the prison, and then you open the prison door to set the offender free. And then you realize that it was you that was in the prison all along. Like I mentioned earlier, forgiveness is removing the sting from a bite, or removing the sting from the venom from a bite from a serpent, or removing the sting from a scorpion. That is what it is. Removing it. Forgiveness is placing your heart in a place where the offender cannot reach your heart anymore. Why are you paying so much? It's because the offender has a grip over your heart. It could be someone that you love so much that did something you didn't expect them to do to you. And you're grieving, you're hurting. It is because you love that person so much. That's why the person was able to hurt you that way. Probably if it was someone you didn't know before, you wouldn't be hurting badly that way. But because it's someone you love, you hurt. For example, your spouse or someone you're in a relationship with. When they treat you badly, when they treat you less, it's more difficult to get over the pain than when somebody you don't know just treats you anyhow. You'll be like, oh, I don't know the person, so it's not my business. But when someone you love deeply hurts you that way, it's deeper and it's more serious. So the forgiveness is taking away the power to hurt. That does not mean you're going to love the person less. What you're going to do is you're going to separate the person from the pain. So you love the person, you take the person aside. You don't like the pain, you take the pain to one side. And then you kill the pain. How do you kill the pain? You ask God for help, because this is a gift He has given you. It's a gift He has given you, and He has given you to give it to every other person. So all you just say is, I forgive. I choose to forgive. And forgiveness is not a one-time thing. Sometimes it takes a process. It takes a long process before it comes to pass. But my dear, please don't give up. Every day you wake up and you feel that pain again, declare, I forgive you. Call the person's name, say, I forgive you. If you need to go to that person and say, I forgive you, go to that person and look the person in the face and tell the person, I forgive you. You see? So, because it is a gift from God, it is a decision also that you're supposed to make. You remember I said forgiveness is not a feeling, it is a decision. So that decision to forgive the person, it is yours to make. And you know the good thing is that when someone gives a rat poison to drink, or rather the person drinks poison and thinks it is the rat that is gonna die, and then he realizes, oh, it is me that took the poison. Do you know most times you're hurting, and the person you're hurting against does not even feel bad, does not even notice you're hurting, does not even care that you're hurting. So it is good for your own good to let it go so that you will heal. So I'm going to quickly run over the effects of unforgiveness so that you see the reason why you should forgive. So the first one is it brings physical illness. Forgiveness works against your body system, works against your hormones, not forgiveness, unforgiveness. Works against your body system, works against your hormones, and you start people that experience cancer, arthritis, ulcer, some of these things come as a result of pain that comes from unforgiveness. When the unforgiveness stays in them so much, it turns into resentment and it begins to burn their system and cause pain in their body. So these are the things that unforgiveness does. Secondly, unforgiveness stops God's blessings. You remember I said that God asked us to forgive so that he can also forgive us. So if you don't forgive, you're stopping God's blessings. You're stopping God's blessings in your life. The devil takes advantage of this and begins to misbehave around you, causing sickness, causing failure in your business, causing failure in many things in your life that you never expected. Just forgive that person. Forgive that person first of all, and you see how things will turn around. Thirdly, unforgiveness causes, when it develops to bitterness especially, it entertains demons in the person's life. You start seeing demons will start taking hold of the person's life and start misbehaving. The sickness, the failure in business, the difficulties are all as a result of demonic manifestations, most likely. Sometimes it gets to the point the person starts having mental health issues because demons have taken over as a result of unforgiveness. So please, my sister, let it go. Let it go. Some of us, when you say unforgiveness, forgiveness, they already have a list of like 10 people that they said they would never forgive for what they did to them. While some, you ask them, they're like, oh, I've forgiven them. But when you hear that person's name, you're hurting inside. You're hurting inside. When you're in a place with that person, you're not comfortable. You don't want that person around you. You don't want to hear that person's name mentioned for good. You don't want to hear that good things are happening in that person's life. My sister, when you feel that way about someone, you've not forgiven really. So forgiveness means that you've set that person free and you've moved on with your life. So I'm going to teach us practical ways to forgive. I'm going to teach you practical ways also to forgive yourself in the next edition. I'm going to stop here so that this section doesn't become too long, and see you in the next section. God bless you. So watch out for the next session. It's going to come like in a week's time. So please engage, share, comment, share your experiences. Tell us the pains that you've gone through, that you need forgiving. Tell us how you've been able to forgive people easily if you're an easy forgiver. And then please go ahead and share to people that you know that will benefit from this. And also comment, like I've already said. And please subscribe to my channel if you like what you see on the channel. And if you want to come back again, always put on the notification bell so that you can always get notifications when new content is updated. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day.